Hey guys, this is Deni as always. If you've suddenly realized that you want to immerse yourself in some atmospheric world and playing solo, you're definitely in the right place today. I've put together a whole bunch of great single-player games for you, with the atmosphere in different genres in general to pull able, easily. So let's not waste time, click on the like, click on subscribe if you haven't already, and let's go! Do you miss adrenaline and dynamic gameplay? The perfect place to get it all? Good old Crossout. Tense battles, dozens of different vehicles, and hundreds of parts for their customization are waiting for you. You can make a powerful, bulletproof tank and destroy your enemies just by the look of it. Or make something smaller, but fast, and get in the back of unsuspecting enemies. In any case, Crossout is the best place to show everyone who is a real pro. Download the game at the link in the description. Let's start with a gothic action game based on fairy tales, where the fate of each inhabitant depends on a roll of the dice. You will have to help the main character, Ewan, to find her sister in the Kingdom of Random, ruled by an evil queen. The kingdom is divided into 6 gloomy worlds, where everything is determined by cursed dice. You will have to move through the streets of the city, get acquainted with its inhabitants, and perform quests. And fight, of course. Battles are a mix of tactical combat, card collecting, and dice rolling, taking place in giant arenas reminiscent of board games. Survival will be difficult, but the god of random will come to the rescue. Well, we'll try to at least. And this is a great game that I played back in the closed beta stage. Just saw it, bought it, and had a lot of fun. Here, Vikings discovered a new land, Northgard, and went there in search of goodies. To survive here, we have to build a settlement, give the Vikings different responsibilities, manage resources, expand the territory, and fight beasts and enemies. Well, the same Vikings from other tribes, but it's okay. From cool, it's that developers brought the expansion, Cross of Vidar, in which we have to pass a new campaign and get acquainted with a new clan. Each clan, by the way, in the game has its own unique abilities and methods of achieving victory. In general, cool bomb. If you like real-time strategy, try it. It's a diamond. How about diving into the enchanting horror world of Little Nightmares 2? An adventure game with horror and dystopia. Here, instead of the 6th from the first part, you play as a boy Mono, caught in a world deformed by the transmission from a distant tower. The 6th will be here, by the way, as a minor character. Well, and together with her, our little Mono tries to uncover the dark secrets of the lighthouse. The atmosphere of the second part is not inferior to the first, and the feeling of the game, in fact, gives all the same. A little nightmarish masterpiece, the second one from this studio already. While part 2 of Senua isn't out yet, how about enjoying the first? In case anyone doesn't know, the main character's name is Senua, and she has to make her way to a Scandinavian hell where the goddess Hela rules. In it, Senua must save her hubby's soul by defeating mythological creatures and Hela herself. But that's half the trouble. With Senua by the hand, things get even more complicated. The screenwriters constantly surprise with different arrivals. For example, a girl can suddenly die, and a second later, lean over her corpse, trying to understand what she sees at all. Bizarrely change the game locations, strange creatures appear, and in between, you still have to swing on swords. And all this with beautiful, even by today's standards graphics. How about we race and smash cars, like Wreckfest? This is essentially a racing game with ultra-realistic physical modeling. In the game, a huge opportunity to customize cars, including the installation of reinforced bumpers, safety cages, side guards, and other components. Well, it is logical, because the main quest here is not just to get to the finish line, but rather to survive. In general, there are quite a lot of different modes. There is even an opportunity to participate in the derby and become the king of destruction. There are a lot of cars, maps too, a lot of modes and all this, with extremely nice graphics. As for me, a beautiful thing. Here is the second part of The Evil Within. The plot once again revolves around the now former detective Sebastian Castellanos fired after the events of the first part. Most of his former colleagues consider him a psycho, and he is looking for salvation from the cruel reality at the bottom of a bottle. Unfinished business, however, weighs on him, and the news about the continuation of experiments of Mebius, the corporation responsible for all the hero's problems, makes him gather his will in a fist. Another reason for returning to the nightmare is his daughter Lily, who died in a fire before the events of both games. Or rather, Sebastian himself thought so. The only way to find her is to dive into the virtual world, created on the basis of the girl's consciousness. The main difference from the first part is in the design of locations. The linear structure of levels is replaced by a full-fledged city with a lot of open spaces and space for exploration. We won't go into details about gameplay, but it's important to note that the game turned out to be great. How about a little train ride with Charles? He's a bloodthirsty train, by the way, and he must be destroyed. That's our main quest. On top of that, we have our own. We can even turn it into a ruthless killing machine with a huge array of automatic and semi-automatic units. The confusing paths can easily throw you off, so plan each sortie carefully. Also, you can help the locals in exchange for powerful weapons and other items needed to defeat Charles. The key is to kill him once and for all. Welcome to Mount Hikami, once considered sacred. It is associated with an unusual religion in which people worshipped water, and strange phenomena and accidents occurred at this place. The three heroes, Yuri Kozukata, Miu Hinasaki, and Ren Hojo, decide to go to the mountain and unravel its mysteries. To explore the mountain, they use a camera obscura capable of disarming evil spirits. The story is divided into separate tasks that are performed by individual characters. It'll be a little creepy, maybe even scary, and after completing the main storyline, you can unlock special quests as Zayan, a character from the Ninja Gaiden series, where she can use her ninja powers to complete quests. Suddenly, yes. In solo or co-op with friends, immerse yourself in the bleak, ruined world of Code Vein. Create a character for an hour, then get into the world and pretend we're in Dark Soul. While there, get new gear, level up your character, gain strength, and beat your enemies on the ass with a whip. Or whatever weapon you choose for yourself. In general, there are a lot of weapons, plus you can use the power of your blood code. Long to tell you what it is, yourself will understand. The main thing is that it is a RPG, anime, and the game itself is quite complex. Whoa, sweet Soma. If you don't know, this is a sci-fi horror from the creators of Amnesia. You are waiting for a frightening story that raises difficult questions. What is consciousness, personality, and what it means to be human? The radio is silent, food is running low, and robots think they are human. Traveling through the underwater station Paphos 2, which for a long time was completely cut off from the outside world. You will have to make difficult decisions. In addition, you have to find the last survivors of the station and decide the fate of the underwater complex. Oh, and naturally, it is better not to die. But if you really want to, it won't be hard to find someone to kill. People, ugly creatures, crazy robots, and omnipresent mysterious AI. And remember that resistance is useless. It's better to put your feet in your hands and run. How about becoming a crow? Well, not just a crow, but a crow that also collects souls. This is your gray day here, from bell to bell. However, the work can play with new colors when the soul entrusted to you is stolen and the thief hid in the lands beyond the reach of death. So our quest is to go to that place and scratch our enemies in the face with our raven claws. Peck out their eyes. Well, and shit can be pigeon pretending to be a pigeon. Strongly let's without details, I think, and without that you see how cool the game turned out, and if at first glance like, then basically like it. The law is, so to speak.
Oh my God, you are the devil.
Before you is a dark fantasy interpretation of the Wild West, where sheriffs coexist with fantastic creatures. The uniqueness of the game lies in the unpredictability and intertwining of the characters' fates, as well as in the fact that each passage is randomized and depends on our actions and decisions. We will gradually fly into different locations, trying to understand what happened there. And one more peculiarity is worth mentioning. The world of the game responds to our actions, and every decision matters. In general, it's not a standard Wild West mixed with fantasy. But if action is not enough, you should definitely try Neon White. It's a first-person action platformer where you have to slay demons in the heavens. We play as White, an assassin who was transferred from hell to compete with other demon hunters for a chance to stay in heaven forever. The main quest is to collect soul cards to attack enemies or get rid of them with unique moves. Also from the cards, you can fly through locations at speed, setting records, and along the way you will get acquainted with other characters in the game. There are quite a lot of them here too, and all of them are assholes with their own secrets. Well, I have today with secrets as if everything. I hope that you found something interesting for yourself and therefore clicked on the like and subscribe too. Well, with you today was as always Deni, and have a nice day.